Hello, and welcome to the FM podcast. I'm Jen Fritz, and I run Fritz Media, a music publicity and digital marketing firm located in Vancouver, Canada. And this is episode number 59 of the podcast. So the topic of this week's show is how to return to music after a hiatus. And joining me on the show is Winnipeg blues guitarist and singer-songwriter Romi Mayes. Now, Romi recently released a new single on May 17th, and that was after not releasing any new music for 9 years. And by the way, she also has a new album coming out at the end of June. Now, we had a really great conversation about what led to her extended break from her music career and how she actually made the decision to come back and release a whole new album. It was a really great chat, and I hope you enjoy it. Here's my conversation with Romi Mayes. Well, hello, Romi. How are you doing today?
Good, Jen. How are you?
I am doing fabulous.
You look fabulous, even though nobody else can see you.
Oh, thank you. I was just out for a run, so I have my little running hat on.
Well, you look fresh. You look fresh.
So I appreciate that. Thank you. It's really good to see your face. And full disclosure for the listeners, you are a Fritz Media client, currently working on a project together, but we've never even done a Zoom together, have we?
No, I don't think we've really hung out or anything. So this is nice to have a new friend.
Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah, I say it all the time, but you know, in this business of ours, you can do business without meeting the other person, and it's a little weird sometimes, right?
Yeah, well, I think mostly we do business without seeing the other person, and then if you ever see them in person, like I've snubbed people by accident, just going, "Oh hey," walking past them, and they're like, "Yeah, I just like blah blah, like we just worked on this project together. Like I'm Bob," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Hi." I had no idea.
I've done that as well.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, for sure.
Totally no.
Well, you know, it's the world we live in.
Oh no, totally. It is.
Yeah.
So to get things started here, I'm going to begin with a question that I ask all of my guests. And
yes,
that is, how did you get your start in music?
When I was one, no, I'm just kidding. We talked just before this, folks, just before this, we talked about how I didn't have to give my life story when she asks any questions. Actually I was about 15 years old and I was kind of like a closet guitar player, like just sort of like hung out and had some chords that I played and stuff. But when I was about 15 years old, there's this place called the Blue Note on Main Street in Winnipeg, pretty famous place now. And there was this guy named Bobby Starr he was doing an open mic, and I was like waitressing there. And he said, "We're going to get Romi to come up and play some songs." And I was like, hell no, like no way. But I got up and those songs that I had at the time were like, you know, the saddest songs I'd ever written, like my dad left and my sister died and like just like all these heavy fucking things. Can I swear on this podcast?
Of course you can. Yeah.
Fuck good, because I do. Okay, so anyway, and then so I was just like, they're pretty sad songs. And then I went up and I played them, and this place has like, you know, bikers and like coke addicts and hookers and, you know, kind of dingy dark place at night. And I had them all crying and, you know, walking up to me with tissues after just soften them all up. But anyway, when I got off stage, I just went home that night and I was like, that's what I'm going to do. That's it. It just felt so like that was the right thing.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah. Most musicians will have it. It's always like that one moment. And it's generally that feeling of community or just like sharing with someone.
Yeah. I just had no idea that it was going to affect me quite like that.
Yeah.
And once I got off the stage and seeing the impact that my songs made and just how it felt to be on stage entertaining people, it was, I couldn't go back.
Pretty incredible. So, all right, let's get to the topic. The topic for this week's show is how to return to music after a hiatus. And
you just don't. No,
come on. And I wanted to talk to you about this because you've just released a brand new single and you have a new album coming out at the end of June.
Yeah.
And this is all happening after being away from music for 9 years. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's not totally fair to say I was away from music because I was still playing. I was still getting festivals. I was still doing short tours, but I wasn't really taking it as a serious career, you know, like building a more of a fan base or more of a demographic. But yeah, so 9 years since I recorded an album and 9 years since I sort of pushed in the industry. Yeah.
So let's start there then. What led to you just like kind of taking that break and not pursuing your music?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think I had planned that I was taking I knew that I was taking a little break because I knew that when the industry was changing, it affected me directly. Like in October 2016 on that tour that I did that year, we were touring all year. I lost personally 15 grand that year. Whereas like my band was still getting paid and all, all the bills were paid, but like I personally lost $15,000. And that's when I went, wait a second, the industry's changing and I have to catch up. So I thought it was just going to be like a minute where I just caught up with the trends and saw what was changing and try to relearn. But then, I just went, okay, well, I'm not writing right now. Like it was 2015 when I released the album anyway. It just sort of started to become a creative gap as well.
Yeah.
So the more I wasn't really pushing towards a project, the more I wasn't really pushing myself to write. And that sort of inertia makes you just sort of dullify your brain on creativity.
Oh, totally.
And, yeah. And I mean, Garth Morlix is a producer I used to work with and a really good friend of mine. And he used to say, don't worry, when you're not writing, you're collecting. But I just kind of went, well, after like, it was like 2 years and 3 years. And I was like, am I collecting or am I just like collecting dust, totally. Is this actually productive or so? And I just, and then COVID was happening. And by the time COVID happened, everyone that was being really creative in their basements and things like that, using that time, I found myself completely, I had no inspiration.
Right.
So I just really felt like, I just thought maybe I'm done. So I did do some of those, from home live shows,
like Zoom shows, basically.
Yeah. And but I, for lack of creativity, I did one that was just like, so you send in cover songs you want me to do, and so I was kind of trying to keep myself excited that way. But I didn't, and I was writing a little, but I wasn't finishing anything.
Right.
So that was definitely a part of the beginnings of the hiatus that I didn't know was going to be 9 years. But
well, that's what happens, right? Like, all of a sudden, it's 9 years later. So you've taken this extended break from music. So what is the thing that led you to decide to come back and actually create and release a new album?
Well, I mean, there were so many factors too that we didn't even touch on, and I don't know if they're not interesting enough to your listeners, but like there are three major things that have happened in the industry since I was in it in 2016, 2015 to now. Mm-hmm. Like so much has changed.
Yeah.
First of all, the digitization of music has completely, you used to be able to make CDs. Mm-hmm. And actually sell them. Yeah. You'd go on the road and that was a big part of your income. Yeah. You'd be able to sell them online and you'd be able to, do mass packaging, send outs and sell them all over. And that just stopped. Right. So that was like a huge part of that. And along with that, the economy completely changed. So with gas prices and venues not having the money they used to, it was hard to imagine going on the road. Of course, there's the industry support. Like there's no one was really signing, like the labels had no purpose. So there was no, they weren't really signing people and giving them support in their career and giving them money up front, like, no label used to do or whatever. And so with all that, it sort of just became this null and void gap, where I was like, what would I do? So what did happen though, is to answer your question, is that last year in 2023, something creatively kicked in. Mm-hmm. And I knew I wanted to do something because last year, I just ended up touring a Lucinda Williams show. I did like a Lucinda Williams, not tribute, but like I did a full catalog of hers, like not full catalog, but a catalog of her music. Yeah. And we toured that. And it was really fun to get on the road and headline festivals again and stuff like that. Yeah. So I started getting a little bit of fire under my ass. And then I was creatively, just something kicked in. All the songs that I'd been writing were being finished. I had new songs coming out of me all the time. Suddenly my guitar playing I was looking at it in a different angle. It just started changing. And then I started going, oh, holy shit, I think I might even have an album soon. So then I just knew that in the past, the way to do it was just give yourself a deadline and just make an album.
Yeah, that's true.
I just said, well, by March 2024, I'm going to have at least 12 songs I love and I'm going to make an album. But then of course, what happens, like who's got the money, right? Yeah. So that brought me to my next level, my next hurdle,
Yeah. And what did you do about that? How did you get the money for it?
I raised it. Fundrose. That's not a word.
Fundrose.
I fundrosed it.
I love that.
That's hilarious. No, I actually I had to humble myself and realize that was the way to do it. And I did a GoFundMe. Yeah. It was really humbling. It was really I have a lot of pride. So it felt demeaning to the music. And it's a very big personal struggle for me to have to do something like that. But I ended up sort of justifying it too, because music is free now. Mm-hmm. It's free. If you pay $9.99 a month for your Spotify, you have access to every song in the world.
Yeah, which is insane.
Which is insane, which is great for the listener. You know, I even use Apple Music, and I have a great playlist, and I'm glad I have all the music I can listen to when I'm on the road and traveling and touring. But it took me a long time to give into that. I was like, not me, I won't do it. It's what ruined my career. Until I was like, or I could be listening to music too, you know?
Yeah.
But of course, you know, the artists make
no money.
Near peanuts. Yeah. I just, instead of my angle, not even angle, it wasn't like a ploy, but like what my thought process was I'm not asking you to give me money to make an album and then buy my album. Mm-hmm. I'm just asking you to help me make the album, and you get it for free. So with that in mind, I ended up had a very successful fundraiser, and I had all the money I needed, and I made the album.
Incredible. Well, so when you went to create the album and to write the new music, what was that like? Did you like have a hard time getting into it? Did you forget how to write the songs, or did it all come back pretty easily? Oh yeah. Like, I mean, that's the thing. The only thing that was, I could write, I could always write. I just wasn't satisfied with what I was writing. Mm-hmm. I mean, I had some pretty great accolades for my other albums, and I was really, really proud of them in the past. So I just always felt that if my album wasn't going to be as, like, I could write a song, but I wouldn't finish it because I'd be like, yeah, it's just another song, you know? Yeah. I was looking for some magic, you know, because you wanted the juice. Yeah. I wanted the juice. Yeah. And it's like that though. Like, I didn't really want to just put out an album for the sake of putting out an album, and definitely not with all this hard work and effort that it goes into to making an album and getting the money for the album and then putting it out and, you know, all the things. Yeah. You know, there's no joke about that blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, every note, every thought that when people put out these albums, it's thought out to the last second, you know, and it's really specific and a passion project to each individual, you know? So I wasn't going to do that unless I was sure that the songs I was making were fantastic. Yeah. You know, I wanted each one to be fantastic. No filler, all killer. I love it. That's awesome. Yeah. And yeah, so it didn't forget how to write, but there were a lot of moments of second guessing if this was as good as I thought it was. Mm. And that was really helpful when I had a couple of my dear friends, Chris Saywell and Tom Fody, who I call Twisty, who were in my band, and my brothers from when I was a teenager. Yeah. Who were able to say, that one's pretty good, or holy shit, you know, that one's awesome. So I kind of had a great filter to work through to discover whether I was writing something that I thought had magic or not. Totally. Now, you said like during the 9 years, you were still like performing sometimes and that sort of thing. So I guess getting to the performance side of things, you didn't have to like be, oh God, I got to get back on the stage again, because you've been doing it. Yeah, the stage has never been a big deal, but actually, in full disclosure, I did have a phase of anxiety after COVID. That's like fair. I had some social anxiety. Yeah, as most people probably did, but I had a lot of social anxiety arise after COVID that I didn't expect, because it wasn't about worried about getting sick or anything like that. I just think I was so used to finding a place in me that I didn't know was there, which is just being relaxed and by myself, and you know, around family and friends, but like just really quiet. And not being in busy bars and being perceived a certain way, or having to say hello a lot and sort of get that spun social aspect of everything. Yeah. So I did find that for a handful of months, maybe, when I started playing again, I was getting a little anxious on stage, and I did go to my therapist about that one and worked that one out. But I do find the stage, it's always been where I want to be. So yeah, that's why you're doing it, right? To perform it live. Yeah, I mean, I don't really think I'd just be a performer or a musician that would just record and release. Yeah. Like, if I can't get on stage and perform it, it's kind of not getting the full yah-yahs of the situation, totally. You know? Yeah. So in those 9 years you're performing, what else are you doing? Like, if you're not making music, if you're not living your life as a musician in air quotes here, like what are you doing? Well, I got really lucky actually, because I helped start a company called Curbside Concerts. It's based out of Calgary, and I still do that now. Mm-hmm. And it's become a really much more successful company than we expected, actually. Cool. And it was basically my friend Matt Masters, who his real name is Matt Bergener, but his stage name is Matt Masters, out of Calgary in 2020. That's the last 4 years anyway. The first 5 years I was just working as a bartender and depressed. That happens. You know? Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I had my, family and friends. I was like, I was playing music and bartending pretty much, actually. But then I have always been really good with the business side of the industry. Like, I've always
like studied that and understood that. And because I've been an independent, I've worked very hard at that angle. So he asked me when he started this company to help him start it in Winnipeg as well. Basically, at the time when it was just COVID, we realized that no one was obviously getting music delivered to them, in any way, shape, or form. And then people who wanted to see music had no access to it. So he started this idea that people could come to the curbside. Originally, it started just on the back of a flatbed and hire these people, and you could sit in your yard and watch these people perform.
Right.
Thus, curbside concerts. Right now, it's just turned. So we started that, and I expanded it from BC to PEI. Mm-hmm. And now we have over 200 artists, and we source artists all the time. We have like some huge corporate clients that we do stuff for all the time.
Oh, wow.
In the malls and stuff across Canada. Yeah. And we have a lot of repeat customers. Definitely a lot of corporate gigs, more so than the actual.
I hadn't thought of that. I could see how that would work for corporate.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does. I mean, there are events. Everyone wants an event, for something, right?
Yeah.
Like, a sale even at a retail store, let alone anything else,
exactly.
Right? So it's constant. We're really busy. And of course, the summer season is a little busier than the winter season, but because we've obviously been able to move it indoors and it just become a live music delivery company, it's become really busy, really successful, and we're really super excited. So that keeps me extremely busy.
Awesome. Well, that's cool. So it was cool that you got to stay working in the music industry.
Yeah. I mean, there was really no other way. I wasn't going to go back to bartending. I think I only did that, to supplement my income when music, because I was supplementing. Didn't have to supplement my income for, like I said, years with just music. Right. And then when it was starting to falter, when I said the 15 grand debt and all that, October 16th sort of onward, I went back to bartending to supplement my income.
Yeah.
But it wasn't exactly something I wanted to be doing,
No, of course.
That wasn't the dream,
No. Well, but you gotta pay the bills, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I'm a good bartender, so it was still really fun to do, but I wasn't what I wanted to be doing. And so I was really thankful that my experience in the business and the music side, the industry side, paid off, because I said, now I completely work in the industry side. And I've actually gotten some great accolades. I've been nominated for Agent of the Year through like the Canadian Live Music Association a few times. And
woohoo!
Yeah. So it's nice to see that the business side and the actual creative side are both sort of handing me, you're doing good, pats on the back.
That's nice though.
Yeah. I mean, I really, it's my life. I've been working really hard at it. So it's nice to see it paying off.
All right. So you talked about the reasons why you took a hiatus from the music industry. In fact, you even wrote a piece about it for Range magazine, which I will link to that in the show notes for everybody.
Yeah. I just love the title. Dear Music, You've Changed.
But it's true. I mean, everything that you bring up in it, you've kind of talked about. It's just how the music industry has changed so much, right? Even I started working in the music industry in about 2003, and you can imagine the changes from then until now. It's insane.
Totally.
So
that's around the time when I took it a little more seriously. I moved back to Winnipeg in 2002.
Yeah.
And that's when I started diving a little bit more into music in 2003 as a full-time career.
Yeah. And there was still money then.
Yeah. I mean, I could tour solo and to sold out theaters.
Yeah.
And make thousands and thousands of dollars at shows from just like CD sales and t-shirts and whatever. And I don't even know how to go about that now and I didn't have a label, I don't even know if the label would help that now. I just think it's,
not now.
At this point, you're either big or you're small. There's no middleman, there's Taylor Swift and there's independence, and that's it.
It's true. Well, let's talk a little bit about, the many reasons why musicians might take a break. Now, this can be a gendered issue. For example, having a child might be something that keeps you from your music career for a little while. In talking to your fellow musicians, do you come across this? Like, what are some reasons why, maybe some of your musician friends may take a break for a bit?
I think 99% would be financial. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it just it just ended up being that the bass player's mom was lending them their credit card by the end of the tour.
Yeah.
There's no way. And I feel bad for any band that's starting now.
Same.
Because because the only reason that I can still even go out there at all is because there's just enough accolade and enough respect out there for what I've built that I have enough fans to get me out there. But if I was just starting now and just, what can you get like $100 opening gig 7 hours away, and nobody's there for your show and you don't have any merch to sell. So, I mean, it's a daunting.
No, it's really hard. I mean, we live in a big country. That's really hard to tour. Gas prices are insane. Everything's insane. And, the venues are closing, and also they just don't have the money anymore.
It truly. And I think another thing when you said like, having a baby or something like that, I do want to say something about that because it's really, as a woman who had a child and was touring with a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, she was 3, 4, or 5, when I was touring. I was so pissed off all the time at how I was treated for that when someone found that out.
Mm-hmm.
I remember particularly this one time in Toronto, I was playing a gig and in the back alley, we were loading up the gear and this woman came up and said, "Did you say on stage that you had a kid?" And I said, "Yeah, my daughter's 5," or whatever it was. And she was like, "How could you leave her at home? How could you do this?" And I said, "Why don't you ask any of these men in my band if they have a kid at home? And how could they do it?"
Exactly.
So I was just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Basically like, some women go to war, they're in the army and they're gone for a year and nobody's saying, how could you leave your kid behind? My job took me away.
Yeah.
But I was never just like left her in an alley. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it's just like, you know how to make your Cheerios. Hey, take yourself to school. You're 5 now.
Yeah.
In the summers, she would stay with her dad.
Oh,
in the winter
interesting. Does she have another parent?
Well, right. Like, and the thing is like, why? That was always something that just pissed me off, Jen.
Oh, I can imagine.
The judgment on being a woman and a mother that went on tour was like so fucking annoying. It was so belittling, and it was so like they were just like, how could you do that to you? How could you be? And I took the guilt on, even though I was like, I knew that I was doing what because also I'd tour for say 4 months of the year, not in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be home for 8 months of the year.
Yeah.
Which is nothing that the other parents who have day jobs were doing.
Exactly.
My daughter gets home from school or I pick her up from school, walk over, pick her up. We go to a movie. We do her homework. We watch a movie, whatever. We go for a walk. We go to the park. These parents are like, they get home from work. It's dinner, TV, bed.
Yeah. Daily.
So like, and my schedule was open. So like, I just thought, the grass is always greener for some people, but my grass was really green. Like I really liked, and I think my daughter and I got to spend more time together.
Oh, totally.
Than we would have otherwise. And then on top of it too, like if it was a really organized tour and she, even if I wanted to take her out of school for a week, because who cares in grade 4, right? So, like, oh, you're missing school? Really? You'll never be a doctor now, But like she, she would come with. And so we'd have like a sitter to watch her.
Yeah.
I'd have someone come with me. Sitter to watch her at if it's a venue, it was like a theater, she could be at the show. Even one time she came up on stage and took my bottle of water and started drinking it on stage when she was like 4. It was just part of the show. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
She'd help me sign CDs, And whoever out there has a CD that's signed by Ashley Mayes, that's pretty cool,
No, it's a valid point, and I think it's bullshit too.
Yeah, like I was literally standing with 3 guys who had kids at home,
and you're like,
and I'm like, ask them the same question.
Yeah, exactly.
And I understand there's a stigma like that the child needs their mother, but it's not like I was abandoning her. You know what I mean? It's not like I just like left and never came back.
That's so true.
Like this was my job. And it took me out of town. If I was a traveling salesman, it would have been the same thing or whatever. So anyway, that thought came to my mind when you were talking about that. But yeah, but there is, I have had a lot of women ask me that question. Like, how did you do it when you had a child? Because you have a 3-year-old or a 2-year-old, and they don't know how to do it. And I just said, well, you need support, you need help.
Yeah, that is it. When you were deciding to dive back into music and to make an album, were you worried that your fans wouldn't be there? Was there anything like, what was that like? That must have been scary to.
A little bit because so my situation I feel has been not completely unique, but unique to some, which is every fan I've made, I feel like I've made them one by one.
Right.
I've never really, there are fans I've never met, you know what I mean? For sure. Ideally. Hopefully, but for the most part, every show I've been at, like, because I'm not Rolling Stone magazine famous, and like some of the publicity I've gotten, people they've heard my name or seen my name, but they maybe not have seen my show, or they didn't, or they bought the album and I've never met them. But most of the people that I've made fans with are repeat offenders coming to my shows.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they're they're
actual fans,
actual people, and I know them and I've seen them, and I'm familiar with a lot of them. And, whether it's in Sweden or in France or in the UK, there have been some diehards who I know will always be there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know about the rest of them because I haven't been there in a long time. And, so, I did really I was worried about that, Jen. It's a fair question. When I started the GoFundMe, I thought, this will be a test to see if I still have fans.
Yeah.
Because I know that I had fans still in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't toured the US or Europe in those 9 years. And I knew that I had like people writing me still, like there was like 3 people in that town in Germany. We want you to come back, you know? But it's like, I want to also, if I get back to Germany, I'll definitely hit that town. And maybe it'll be like, 50, 60, 70 people at that show for a nice ticket price, or maybe more.
Yeah.
But I just don't know anymore because I'm not working that scene anymore.
Yeah.
So you're right. Like, but luckily I think because I got I can't thank everyone enough. Like there's just no way to thank them, but there's no words. But because I got the amount of money that I required from these generous people, I realized that I still have the devoted fan base that matter to me. The only ones that matter to me.
Yeah.
The ones who gave me that opportunity to make this album is for them, and they can listen to it for free all the fuck they want. They paid for it.
Yeah.
And they're going to be there when I hit their towns,
Yeah, I guess that would have been a good gauge for you to do the GoFundMe. You're like, oh, thank God there's people there still.
Yeah, people still care. People still care. And also, I knew enough that like, especially in Canada, the certain places that I play, I still sell out whether I have had a new album or not. So I feel really good about the new album doing well there in those, like in certain cities. I didn't know if that would be enough, but I don't know. I guess, because there's the new single's been dropped. We'll find out. I go at the end of the day. It's like 6 people listened on Spotify. It's a bad day,
No, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I believe it's going to be great.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really excited about it. So, and I did say to my band when we started this whole project and this idea that this one was for us. It ended up being now because of the people that were generous that it's for them as well. And anyone that gives a shit, really. But I was like, I don't know what the rules are anymore.
Yeah.
I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. I'm just going to do what I want to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want people to hear it. And I just want to make something I'm proud of. And because I just had waited too long to not do that, because I owed it to myself to even make another album.
Yeah. That's a great attitude.
Yeah.
All right. So wrapping things up just a little bit here, let's talk about your new music.
Sure.
You just released a new single, Come On Baby.
Yeah.
Came out on May 17th, and you have a full-length album coming out on June 28th. So how do you feel to finally be releasing this new music?
Oh, it's next level. It's next level. I mean, today or whenever, May 17th was a very... I know.
It's okay. You can say today.
I try to remember with things like this that they're not. So today is May 17th when we're pre-recording this, people, just so you're not confused. FYI. And today is the day that the single has been released. So I'm really excited. Like all day I've just been getting emails and messages and texts and people are posting it. It's really exciting to just, especially because all these people have not heard anything new from me in 9 years. To just be, they were like, oh my God, I've been waiting so long to hear something new from you, that I know that when the album comes out, there's 11 other tracks. There are 11 other tracks they haven't heard that'll come out. And I mean, the thing about the album that I'm mostly excited about is the way I've decided to record it. Like that it's one side of the vinyl is slow and one side of the vinyl is heavier.
Yeah. So
I just think that's a really unique thing. And so I kind of am appealing to both of my kinds of fans that I have, the ones who like my rock and roll stuff and the kinds who like my ballads. And so I think both of them are really great. I'm really excited. This first one, Come On Baby, is one of the rockers. And so far people are saying like, I can't stop listening to it over and over. And it's like, I'm going to put it on the car and, and drive around to it and hit the highway. And I just feel like, like I'm just getting that first tingle.
It's so nice, eh? Yeah, you like release it, you're
like
getting the feedback and it's finally happening.
Yeah, it's finally happening. Like, I mean, even when we were in the studio and we were making the album, and I was pretty proud because I produced the album too, right? Like that was a big deal to me. I had all these great people playing and kind of rooting for me in the studio. And then we did like the first listen, of all the tracks in the order I pretty much thought we were going to. It was like obviously pre-mastered, it wasn't mixed and mastered yet, but it was pretty close actually. And we were just sitting in the studio and just listened to them in a row, kind of like a listening party, had a couple beers. And we were all just like emotional. I was just like, holy shit. Like we made an album, like it's a really good album. And then the first thought I had was, I cannot wait to unleash this.
Yay.
I cannot wait to just share this. And so that's kind of now it's happening. Like it actually feels like it's starting to happen. And I don't even care if the reviews are bad. Like I don't think they're going to be.
Won't be.
I know, but like say someone's like, well, we waited 9 years for Romi's next album for no reason.
For
or,
what?
like Yeah, if there is a bad review out there, I could give a shit. Like, I know what we did and I know what we have, and I'm really just excited that the people who wanted to hear it get to hear it.
Well, that's a good feeling when you're proud of what you've put out.
Totally.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, right? And I used to stay on stage, like when I'd be on tour, I'd say something like, if I was going to start a song, I might introduce it as like, this one's one of my favorite ones that I've written. And at first I thought, that's a weird sentence. But then I kind of compare it to like, if you're an artist, like a painter, why would you have like an art gallery display of paintings you didn't like?
Totally.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, obviously I like the songs I'm making, and obviously I'm proud of them. And obviously I want to produce, like I want to put them in your ears, So I don't know. I guess I just want to be proud. Like, obviously I like my music.
Well,
I just don't think it's weird that people don't say that very often. Yeah. Like, people don't say that very often. Like, I really like my music. I think the song is awesome. I'm super excited. I hope everybody feels the same way,
Totally. Yeah. It would be really weird if you didn't like your music.
Fully. Like, well, my album's out.
Yeah,
it's okay.
It's fine. It's fine, guys.
You don't have to listen to it. It's not my best.
Oh my God. All right. So now seems like a really good time to head on over to our fresh content segment.
Yeah.
Every week on the show, we discuss our favorite piece of music content for the week. And we always like to start with the guest. So Romi,
yeah,
what do you got?
You know what? I've been listening to a lot of Brandi Carlile lately.
Nice.
And I wasn't that familiar with her. And I actually had a joke with my friend the other day about how ignorant I was when her name first started surfacing, that we thought she was Belinda Carlisle.
I still make that mistake.
Like we didn't really. Yeah. So, but then when I actually checked out Brandi Carlile, I had a friend who I was teaching guitar lessons to, and she wanted to learn a song called The Story. And I listened to it and I got chills. Like, there's a part in the song where her voice completely just cracks. Like, it just cracks. And it's the best fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, I was like, they could have redone that part.
Yeah.
They could have easily have just said, why don't we do it again? So, because she's a killer singer. But she just let it rip, And there's something about that song that, because I know that part is coming, that the whole song is this anticipatory excitement,
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So I think that Brandi Carlile, The Story, that has been blowing my mind. I've been trying to go down the rabbit hole of Brandi Carlile. Some of it's really good.
Yeah.
Her singing is amazing, but I don't think I've hit a song quite as powerful as
that
The
one's
Story
pretty good.
right now. Yeah, it's really heavy. Like, there's something about it. Yeah.
It's definitely good.
What about you?
Well, let me tell you, please don't judge me for this, but I am a Swiftie.
Okay.
So I'm very...
there's a reason she's famous. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm really sorry. So I'm going to recommend a song from her new album. Her new album's called The Tortured Poets Department, which is a dumb name for an album. I will say that.
Well, at least you had a little bit of put down for Taylor there.
Yeah. I mean,
balance it out.
Listen, I'm not going to defend her all the time.
No, you know what? I actually am not that person. Like, I don't, like, my partner listens to EDM. So like, there's just after that, there's nothing I can do. It's like everyone's got their own opinions.
You like what you like. Music's subjective,
and
right?
You know what? Taylor's talented. Her songs don't get me. Like, I'm not grabbed, but honestly, I couldn't name 3. But that I don't listen to the radio and I haven't caught up with it. But if you know what, I haven't taken that dive in.
Yeah.
If I sat down and someone who really liked Taylor Swift showed me some songs that were really good, I might like them.
Maybe you turn into a Swiftie yourself. You just don't know.
I don't ever know that I'd fucking call myself a Swiftie. That's it. Let's draw the line there.
Calm down, eh?
Calm down, Jen. I might say I can appreciate some of her songs, but I don't know if I'm not a believer either. You know what I mean? Like,
that's okay. You don't have to.
Even though I like the Grateful Dead, I was never a Deadhead. Like, there's I have my limits.
You got a line. I
got a line I won't cross.
Yeah. All right.
I don't expect you all to listen to me and go like, I'm a Romi head or something like that. That's just fucking weird.
All right. Well, the song is called I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. And it's a song about, going on with your life and pretending everything is okay after you have a breakup.
Right.
And it's like this fun, super upbeat song.
Oh,
like,
good.
You can dance to it. And it's kind of cheeky, but, it's actually something that I thought about for Taylor because she broke up with her long-term relationship right before she started the Eras tour. Mm-hmm. And when that happened, I was like, how as a performer, because for me, when I go through a breakup, it levels me.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
so I've like canceled less. You know what I mean? Like, I've canceled more and I've canceled less for just like heartache.
Totally.
Yeah. Like, I guess I'm not going on this tour. Yeah. No. I don't think I've ever canceled a tour. But also, I mean, that money machine is just, she's probably not even.
It doesn't stop. Like, you can't stop.
She can't just stop. But it doesn't, by all means, that's going to be a struggle to put on that happy face every day.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I guess like this song is the answer to that. Like you just put on a smile and pretend everything's okay. And that's
what else are you going to do? I mean, it's a profession, right? That's her job.
That's your job.
Yeah. And it is admirable that you can do that, because that's a lot of energy. It's not just like she has to go and like sign some papers and sit behind a desk and like pretend she's okay and go like cry over her apple and milk at lunch, You know what I mean? Like she has to actually.
That's what.
And that's what we do.
Yeah.
But she has to go out there and give it all she's got.
Yeah.
And so I do admire anyone that has that energy when they're hurting, because I know that that happens.
Oof.
And she's only human.
She is,
right? Just like everybody else. So it's hard to get up and people. I know there's like I canceled a show last week actually because a dear friend of mine passed away, and I found out that day, and I just canceled the show that night. Like I couldn't.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's just. That's not the most professional thing to do, but I'm not Taylor Swift. I don't have like $7 million depending on that.
You can cancel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have like a whole machine.
Yeah. Who will all they will like cancel something for me, or like I will lose millions of dollars and they will all lose millions of dollars if I just go, I can't.
So crazy.
I mean, even if she's sick, they probably bust her up with a bunch of B12 and say, go on stage,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, I will make sure to link to that in the show notes, and I'll also link to your fresh content pick as well, Romi. And I guess that is it for us. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Jen, you're the best.
Thank you. So are you.
I love you. I love working with you, and I'm glad that we get to have some chat time, and I appreciate you asking me to be on your podcast.
Yay. Thanks so much for saying yes. If people want to find out more about you and your music, where can they do that?
I do have a website up. It's romimayes.ca.
Mm-hmm.
Not just as basic facts. It's not a fancy website, but it'll have, the tour dates, and it'll have all the new music information and where you can click on that, and old music to click on, and videos, all that kind of stuff. But of course, if you go to Facebook, Instagram, Romi Mayes, ROMIMAYES, you can probably Google me and find me. So it's where we live in the world.
You're everywhere.
I'm everywhere. I'm in the cloud.
And for our song of the week this week, we're actually going to play your new single, Come On Baby, so people can hear that. They stick around as well. So have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Thanks, Jen. Bye.
Well, I hope you like that one. It was certainly a fun conversation, and want to say thanks again to Romi for coming on the show. Thanks so much for listening to the FM podcast. If you like the show, please tell your friends and give us a 5-star rating and review in Apple Podcasts. Or, you can always help us out by telling a friend about how much you like the podcast, or you can post about how much you like it on your socials. Anything you can do, we'd really appreciate it. The FM podcast is produced by me, Jen Fritz, for Fritz Media, with production assistance from Carla J. If you'd like to learn more about Fritz Media, just go to our website at fritzmedia.ca. And to learn more about the podcast, go to thefmpodcast.com. A big thank you to Said the Whale for providing the theme music for the show. And you can find out about them at saidthewhale.com. Okay, so we're going to go out with our song of the week this week, which, as promised, is the new one from Romi Mayes. This is Come On, Baby. Bye. I'll see you next Tuesday.